For this episode of One Last Stint, we're in Sapa and this is their amazing rice terraces.
In this episode of One Last Stint, Lyvonn and I made our way to Hanoi, then an overnight journey to Lao Cai, and finally onto our final destination, the beautiful Highlands of Sapa, Vietnam.
We are now on our way to Sapa and we are back at Hanoi train station. We'll be taking the SP1 that is 10 minutes past 9 out to Lao Cai tonight.
So this is the train from Hanoi to Sapa. It's called the TSC and it looks really good. I think the size is the same as a normal train, but it just looks poshed up. It's a 4-sleeper. I don't think we'll be that lucky to have it all, but we'll see. It'll be really good to have it all. So, we've been checking out other cabins and we just realized that we're the only one with the TV. So that sets us apart. We're the winner! Okay, that's it.
Lyvonn and I are in Sapa for one sole reason. Well, other than the cooling breeze of the highlands, the amazing food, and the colourful hill tribes, and that is to check out the amazing rice terraces. Now there is unfortunately no easy way to do this. There are no helicopter rides to give you a scenic tour in Sapa. To experience the true beauty of Sapa's rice terraces, one just have to resort to their own 2 feet, and that is to hike. Lyvonn and I engaged a local tour to take us around the rice terraces. We opted for an 18-kilometer trek to check in at the homestay for a night before making the journey back into Sapa main town centre. So off we went through the hustle and bustle of the town centre and the beautiful laden tar roads of the city centre and into some slightly deserted roads. Then onto the real countryside, where pigs, goats and cows are either free to roam or have their droppings scattered throughout muddy and slippery grounds. However, despite the slightly unfortunate circumstances, your mind will quickly turn to be at awe of the amazing scenery of the Sapa rice terraces. Well, as long as you keep your eyes peeled on the road, that is, and watch where you are stepping, of course.
So here we are at the rice fields of Sapa. It's really serene, and these are things that you probably see only on television, and to actually be here right now, it is such an amazing experience. And you know, growing up in Malaysia, you only see paddy fields like right up to the horizon, but to see them in steps right now, you really can't resist, or rather can't help thinking that how much work would have been put in here to make it all happen, and the amount of thoughts or engineering feats that they have to go through. It is so humbling. And of course, you know, being out here, you guys are on the telly, you're seeing how beautiful and serene this place is. Yep, that's right, and that's Lyvonn right there. It's not entirely all that beautiful because we got our foot in the mud, and this is how it looks like. Yep, you guys are reaping all the good stuff while we are toiling out here.
I personally find walking in between the rice terraces the most exciting feat in this leg of the journey. It's the culmination of good balancing, agility, and being real quick on your feet, and most importantly, thinking and planning your next step in a split second. Why, you ask? Well, these banks are not as firm and solid as you see. If you linger a little too long, the banks will break and the water from the terrace will gush over to the terraces below. Now when that happens, getting yourself knee-deep in mud is the least of your concern. It's the angry farmers that you should be worried about. Now these guys spend hours day after day fortifying the banks that holds each terraces together just so the rice has the right amount of water to keep them alive and produce crops in the next season. So far though, despite the several accidents that I've had, I've only been greeted with a big smile and a good laugh from the local farmers. I guess they've seen this happen so frequently, it's pretty much pointless being angry about it, but rather to see the bright side of the unfortunate incident. Or should I say the humorous side of the unfortunate incident.
Right, time check, 4:50. Took us only about 7 hours to get to where we are.
Our guide said they normally reach the house by 2 o'clock, and we are the exception.
Yeah.
So I don't know whether we're slow or the other people are fast, but
It's 2.5 hours off the target time.
yeah.
But, yeah.
I think we took our time. We had a good chat with the guide about everything under the sun.
Yeah, she keeps going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
She's very modernized.
Yeah.
But she's an 18-year-old girl, so yeah, it's cool.
It's good though, it's good to be
Yeah.
able to get a guide that can actually speak and communicate properly with you, because we definitely gathered a lot more information than we otherwise wouldn't have been without
Yeah.
having her around. So
And it's just not the
highly recommend it.
it's not the typical conversation about, you know, it's yeah, it seems like it's good because she wants to know about us as well, and it's also about life in general and not just very
That's right.
touristy
A
question.
very, very good insight into her personal beliefs, right? And yeah, and how things are here in Sapa. So it's very good. I'm very happy that we actually hired a personal guide. Otherwise, you know, coming in a group, we wouldn't be able to ask questions as freely as we wanted to be honest.
And the scenery is just amazing.
Oh.
It's
Love it. I am
Yeah.
so glad I'm here.
It's not extremely hot to walk in. It's getting hotter and hotter, but it's still very enjoyable.
So yeah.
So after the long arduous journey, Lyvonn and I check ourselves into our homestay amongst the Red Zao people. We have checked ourselves into a homestay here in Sapa, and now it's a feast I'm having with my homestay mates, and it's bound to be an absolute blast. They don't speak much, but they make up for it with a bountiful hospitality, good food, and highly potent spirits. Now, speaking about potent spirits, none of us shied away from the local spirits. After dinner, and in true gentleman style, some of us retired to a separate room for some after-meal activities. And for those of us who didn't quite fancy a bit of a hit, sitting by a welcoming fire is most inviting. And when you're ready to hit the sack, well, you just do so. We got up early next morning. It was just only daybreak, and I thought I was amongst the first to wake up so I can beat everyone else to the shower. But to my surprise, our host is already up and preparing breakfast for us. It's pancakes cooked over a wood fire. Just didn't sound right, but none of us complained during breakfast. In fact, I think we quite like it. So, right after breakfast, we made our way back to town. Pretty much the same way as we did getting here. We'll spare you the details on this one. Suffice to say, it was just as interesting, but we just can't help getting back onto a proper bed and a hot shower. Not contented with the amazing views of the countryside, Lyvonn and I headed back up to the tracks. Now this time with a local locomotive, the motorcycle. We definitely covered more grounds this time and was rewarded with some really beautiful scenery. We should have signed up for this option initially. That will definitely save me from all the joint pains last night.
You know, we've been spending the past 2 days getting right down to the rice fields itself, tracking it, getting our hands and feet all dirty. Now on the third day, we thought what a great idea it would be to just hire a motorbike and just drive ourselves up to as high as you possibly can up here in the Sapa mountains. And the views that we see here, it's so rewarding. And it's an excellent opportunity to grab a bird's eye view of the beauty of Sapa itself, as you can see from directly behind me. Isn't that just amazing?
Well, that's pretty much it from this episode. Here are some amazing pictures we've managed to take during our trip here at Sapa. We hope you enjoy it.